Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our October 25th, 2024 graduation. My name is Melissa Carney, Community Outreach and Graduate Support Manager here at Guiding Eyes. With me, I have my handsome male yellow Labrador Retriever named Aaron, and we have been a team for 8.5 years. So it's such a pleasure to be joined by all of you today, whether you're a puppy raiser, a donor, one of our trainers, any of our staff, and of course, these wonderful graduates sitting in front of you today. I want to thank everyone who's played a part in both the dog's and the person's journey, whether you raised a dog, whether you sponsored a team, whether you trained any of these fantastic dogs, and of course our graduates. We often talk a lot about the puzzle pieces involved in the dog's side, but not often the person's side. They have to do plenty of preparation of their own to get to this point. And I just want to commend all of our graduates for taking this step, for exercising their choice in a mobility tool and transitioning from a white cane to a guide dog, from all the orientation and mobility lessons to studying up on which school was best for them and preparing to take this step in this pivotal journey to receive a Guiding Eyes guide dog. There's many puzzle pieces that we as clients also utilize in order to get to this point. So congratulations to all of our graduates sitting up here today, everyone who played a part in their journey. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to Rebecca Cross, Director of Donor Relations.
Thank you, Melissa. Yes, I'm Rebecca Cross, Director of Donor Relations, here with my own beautiful guide dog, Regal. I realized about 10 minutes ago that today is our 7th anniversary of being matched as a team, so hey! Regal's gonna get an extra little kibble tonight, I think. She's worked hard for it. But again, welcome everybody. I'm so excited for the teams graduating today. I want to thank our donors specifically. Obviously, we know it's a huge community that comes together for these dogs, and we couldn't do it without each one of you, no matter what part you play. But I definitely want to recognize those who have donated financially in order to make our programs and our teams possible. Everything is completely free of charge to these wonderful people up here receiving these fantastic dogs. So we thank you for that. We actually have a couple of team sponsorships today that I'd like to recognize. So that means that they were sponsored throughout the whole process. And so first, I'd like to recognize that the team of Dan and Quebec was sponsored by the Lallier family, and they have a little message to share, and I'm going to share their message with you today. They said, we, along with Charisse, wish you a joyous day and many congratulations on your graduation from Guiding Eyes for the Blind. We hope the partnership and bond you have built with Quebec means that this is a graduation to a new phase of life with more freedom and many new and exciting experiences. Charisse Marie Lallier, who is unfortunately no longer with us, is honored and humbled to have sponsored this part of your journey. She shares with you the qualities of kindness, compassion, dedication, and resiliency. She has an all-around love for humanity, and with her all-around love for humanity and her deep love for animals, she is a perfect match for those like you in the Guiding Eyes programs. Congratulations again and warmest wishes for the future. And that message is from Charisse Marie Lallier and Todd and Teresa Lallier. So congratulations to Dan and Quebec. And I'd also like to congratulate the team of Rob and Bingo, which was sponsored by the estate of Suzanne Hatfield. Suzanne was a really long-time supporter of Guiding Eyes, really cared about everything from the very start before the puppies were born, all the way through training and beyond. While Suzanne has moved on, we know that her legacy continues here every single day, not only through this amazing partnership between Rob and Bingo, but also through her continued support through her legacy of our programs. And so we are so thankful to her and thankful to those who knew and loved her who are also watching today. So congratulations to everybody, and I'm going to pass it along to Monica to share with our puppy raisers.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. My name is Monica Conrad. I'm a regional puppy specialist here at Guiding Eyes to the Blind, and I'm here to represent our puppy raisers today. But first, I want to give a big shout out to all of the people here at Guiding Eyes that touched all these dogs' lives prior to them going to their puppy raisers. So that starts out in our whelping kennel. I remember when I got to meet a few of these puppies actually when they were only about 5 weeks old. Especially some cute little boy on the end here with his little face. And I remember going into the whelping kennel and they were like, hey, we've got this really cute brindle puppy. You've got to show you what he looks like. And so thank you so much to the whelping kennel for giving them lots of love and support to not only our broods, but also to all the babies when they're first there, to our early socializers who get them out into rooms and get them introduced to stairs and balls and underfootings and all sorts of things. I'd also like to say thank you then to our puppy kennel and our home socializers. They put in all of the work before they're even 8 weeks old to make sure that they get out, get playtime outside, get into homes to experience all the sights and sounds. So first and foremost, thank you so much to all of them. And then to our puppy raisers, who I am lucky enough today to not only get to represent you guys up here and say thank you, but also to be a raiser of one of the guys up here, who also is probably the most handsome man in the room. If I have to say so, I might be a little biased, but he definitely is a very cute boy. So I just want to say thank you guys so much to the puppy raisers and congratulations on your dog making it here today. You probably all remember back to the early days when you first got your puppy and they had tiny little bladders and they had to go out so many times during the day. And if you're like me and your puppy was a little nervous about stairs at first and then you teach them how to go up and down the stairs and then you're like, oh shoot, my puppy knows how to go up and down the stairs now and they're no longer stuck to just one level of the house. And so that was always fun. You turn your back for 2 seconds and they're halfway up the stairs and you're like, oh, let's come back down, please. Or all the different memories of getting them out and about to their outings for the first time, going to the grocery store. I remember the first time he was able to conquer both Wegmans and Costco all in one trip together and get all of the shopping done and not have to split it up. Just all the different outings that you took them on. Thank you so much for giving them all the support, the love, and compassion that they needed to be able to be these calm, confident puppies that they are ready for training. Thank you so much to all of the trainers who put all of their time and effort in to get them ready for these grads. I'll say last but not least, there's a statement that goes something along the lines of, life isn't a matter of milestones, but of moments. And I know that while this is a huge milestone for both raisers and graduates alike, it'll be the moments that you guys as puppy raisers will cherish with these guys and remember and hold on to. So congratulations, raisers, congratulations, graduates, and we know we look forward to all of your adventures with your new dogs out and about in the world. So with that, I will present all the raisers with their certificates. So when I call your name, raise your hand or stand up, and Gerald has them in the back for you. So first up, raisers of Arizona, Chris Leach. Raisers of Jayla, Cheryl and David DeFalco. Raisers of Bingo, Macy Nauman. And myself, I guess I gotta get up and get this certificate. Thank you. And then lastly, I want to thank the raisers that were not able to come today. So raisers of Quebec, Megan Christian. And raiser of Trinket, Brian Carolyn. And with that, I'll hand off the mic for graduate introductions.
Thanks, Monica. I don't know how you guys do it without having paper in front of you. I could not. So I'm going to basically introduce our class. My name is Michelle Tang. I am a placement specialist at Guiding Eyes. My partners, Shannon Deere and Kat Poalo, had the absolute pleasure of instructing these 5 teams in front of you over the past 2 weeks. The first team on my left, Terry Rupp and her Black Lab Trinket. Terry has come to Guiding Eyes from Las Vegas, Nevada to receive her very first guide dog. Terry has been matched with female Black Lab Trinket. Terry is a marathon runner who is excited to be paired with her new running partner. Although Trinket might not be quite ready for 26.2 miles, this team has already gone on their first run while in class and also did a hike together this past Wednesday. Terry is excited to get home and introduce Trinket to her husband, daughter, and son. Trinket was trained by Erin Murphy and Allie Greenberg. Oh, woo! Next to Terry, we have Ramsina and her yellow lab, Arizona, or Ari, or Ari. There's a couple of different names we used in class. Ramsina has come to Guiding Eyes from Sacramento, California. She's receiving her 4th dog, but it's her first from us. Yep. I know. Ramsina was initially worried about how this new relationship would be, but from the minute they met, it was love. Lost my place. Ramsina is excited to get home to introduce Arizona to her cat, her family, and her friends. Arizona, well, she also looks forward to getting home to her Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, and all that good stuff, right? Arizona was trained by Sam Ori, Chrissy Vetrano, Shannon Walsh, and Ben Cawley. Woo! Alongside Terry, we have Dan and his Yellow Lab Quebec. Dan has been working with Guiding Eyes dogs since 2005. That's right, Dan? Quebec is his 3rd guide. Dan lives in Arlington, Virginia, but regularly travels into the DC area where he works as an IT program manager just 2 blocks from the White House. Dan and Quebec were a pleasure to work with over the last 2 weeks. Almost immediately, the two found their rhythm and have been nonstop since. And nonstop is upper moderate, quick, long routes, some heavy breathing from his instructor at times. Especially in the heat. It was quite hot this class. Dan's quiet and kind demeanor has been a wonderful calming energy for this class. Quebec was trained by Catherine Russell and Allie Greenberg. There's my girls. Next to Dan, we have Philip and his first guide dog, a Black female named Jayla. Philip lives in Southern Texas with his wife and daughter. Philip runs a nonprofit giving white canes to those in need and participates in a lot of blind education. We enjoyed his joking and constant banter, especially with Kat. Philip has worked very hard over the past 2 weeks, and his commitment to Jayla is admirable. I just want to add, Philip and I, similar in our 80s music trivia, I have to say, I proved him wrong quite a bit this class. So just wanted to throw that in there, Philip. Just for you. Jayla was trained by Alyssa David and Sam Ori. What was that? I have the mic, Phil. I tried to say Rick Astley was a one-hit wonder, and I was like, absolutely not. I proved him wrong. I played several of his songs. Back on track. Here we go. Last, we have Rob and his absolutely gorgeous Brindle Lab Bingo. Bingo is Rob's 2nd dog from Guiding Eyes. Rob has come to us all the way from Canada, where he lives with his lovely wife, but frequently visits his daughter who lives in Brooklyn. Rob keeps busy with running his own medical supply business and sitting on the board of Vision Loss Rehab Canada. Rob's kind heart and spirit has been an asset to both his classmates and instructors. We have enjoyed watching him and Bingo work together and flourish as a team. Bingo was trained by Mick Bilia. And with that, I am going to pass the mic to our first graduate speaker, Terry.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to start with a quote, one of my favorite quotes from Eleanor Roosevelt. I'm going to try really hard not to cry. Many people walk in and out of our lives, but only true friends leave footprints on our hearts. I think everybody in this room can agree with me that we all have paw prints on our hearts. Okay. I used to joke that I never wanted a guide dog because I was too lazy. I could walk through the door, leave my cane in the corner, and that's it. I also thought that I had too much residual eyesight for a guide dog. I didn't think it would, I thought that having a guide dog would do the dog a disservice. Let me rewind a little bit. In 1983, I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand after my parents fled Cambodia because of the Pol Pot regime. When I was about 16 months old, I still hadn't walked yet. We were in the Philippines on our way to the US, and I got up and just ran across the room. No crawling, no cautious steps. I just got up and ran across the room. All throughout my childhood, adolescence, I never felt good enough, fast enough, pretty enough, smart enough because I couldn't see well enough. It wasn't until I was in my early 20s when I met my friends, positive role models from the National Federation of the Blind, and attended my first NFB of California convention. And I was just starting to pull my cane out of the closet, literally pulling my cane out of the closet. I was dating my husband at the time. We'd been married for 17 years, and he found it in my closet and asked me, "What's this?" "Oh, I'm legally blind." So I was at the convention with my folding cane that I was just starting to play around with. And a good friend, Rosie Carranza, says, "Terry, you look like you walk really fast. You should try one of these taller canes." I had already begun thinking about what I wanted to do, how I wanted to be. I lived a very much fake it till you make it, but I was done faking it. It was exhausting. I was tripping downstairs, walking into, what are they called, those little half poles. And everybody on campus thought I was stuck up because I wasn't waving back to them or grabbing those flyers that the sororities were trying to hand out to me. So I decided to put college on hold, a budding relationship on hold, and went to halfway across the country to learn how to use a cane, accessible technology, read Braille at the Louisiana Center for the Blind. Again, I started running. I hit the ground running. I ran into leadership. I found myself serving on multiple leadership roles in the National Federation of the Blind. And for the next 17 years, I was running around with my long white cane. And then the pandemic happened, and I started losing more and more eyesight. And I found running. I actually found running before the pandemic. I read an article. Well, let me rewind a little bit to how I found running. A guy named John Sterling read an article in the in Runner's World about a blind guy who ran the New York City Marathon, and all he needed was a running guide. So John called up Achilles International and asked how he could get involved, and they said there was no Achilles Las Vegas, so he could start a chapter if he wanted. John and I ran together, and we started that chapter together. About a year later, I read the article about Thomas Pennock running with his running dogs. I still had a dog at the time and knew that I couldn't bring a dog into our home. He was aggressive, he was protective, and we couldn't have him around other dogs. We ended up putting him down in 2020 because he was in too much pain with his arthritis and getting more and more aggressive. And it took me a couple of years to be emotionally ready for another dog. But in 2022, it was time. I decided I wasn't getting a regular dog. It was time for a running dog. I am not just a marathon runner. I'm one of those crazy ultra marathon runners and have found a love for running 100 milers. Trinket will not be running 100 miles with me. She will be my regular everyday running buddy when I don't have running guides to do my long run with. I'm so excited to get back home, introduce her to my husband, my 2 kids, and to have a dog in the house again. And I'm so excited to experience that next step of freedom with having a guide dog and a running dog. So the quote I read to you earlier was from Eleanor Roosevelt. I'll say it one more time if you guys don't remember it. "Many people walk in and out of our lives, but only true friends leave footprints on our hearts." I'm going to leave you with one more thing that I love to say. It doesn't matter how fast or far you go. What matters is how much fun you're having and who's having that fun right there with you.
The mic when you're ready, okay? Take your time. Ready?
Wow, I'm not sure what I can say after that speech, but God help me. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Terry talked about the pause on our hearts. I couldn't agree more. I too come with 3 sets of paws on my soul. And but I want to talk for a moment to you about Guiding Eyes. Yeah, this very school, y'all are sitting here. This is my first dog from this very school. I want to say this first to anyone out there today that is hearing us. If you're looking for a guide dog, yes, I'm speaking to any individual who is blind or visually impaired. I want you to know this is a beacon of light. This school is a home of hope. This school will not stop until, by golly, they find you a dog, because that's what they did in my life. This school will walk on waters if they have to in order to find you a dog. I've come from other schools. I've called many schools over the last 2 years and all of that. And no one was able to do the work to get me the dog. Why is that? I'll tell you why. As much as my beautiful friend next to me is a marathon runner, I'm not. I have arthritis on every imaginable joint. And so finding the dog that would be right for me was very challenging. But many schools told me, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, well, once in a while we get kind of dog that might fit your needs. But I mean, you can try or something very like that. The words I never heard from Guiding Eyes was just those things. From the beginning, they promised that they will have a dog for me, and they did. And these instructors walk on waters. And Miss Shannon, I would not have been here without you today. I know that, and I'm grateful for all of you and for everything you all did. And Miss Shannon, you walked on the stormy seas of my own life. And Arizona, well, Arizona. When Arizona and I met, one thing that happened was she immediately turned on her back. She gave me her tummy. I gave her my heart. And so it was an immediate match made in heaven. It absolutely was. And today I have friends here among us that have met Kyla and have been there with me when she took her last. Kyla was my 3rd guide dog. And honestly, since that time, I've got into emotional drought. The moment Arizona and I met and I felt that hot tongue of hers, springs of fresh waters started in my life. So she is worth it. If I had to wait 10,000 years to meet her, I would wait that long. And thank you so much. And I love her. And just thank you. I love Guiding Eyes. Y'all just come to the school. Look no further. Thank you. Hey.
Here you go.
I want to leave you all with a Persian love song. This song talks about 2 people committing their hearts to each other and just giving their hearts to each other. I believe Arizona and I and all my classmates here, we've all done that. So this is to Arizona. This is to all the dogs here. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, damn. Yep, I got it. Yep. Sorry.
All right. That was wonderful. We are now going to present the graduates with their certificates. So first we have Terry and Trinket. Ramsina and Arizona. Dan and Quebec. Philip and Jayla. Rob and Bingo. Congratulations, guys. All right, I'm going to pass the mic back to Melissa. If you don't bring a pack of tissues to graduation, I think you're doing it wrong. I personally regret it. I never expect to cry, and yet I'm always tearing up because every story shared here is just so unique, along with our beautiful, beautiful musical performance. I love being able to hear those tributes to dogs, whether it's singing, piano. We've had people playing cello, all sorts of instruments. So thank you all for being vulnerable and sharing a piece of your journey with us today. I want to quickly share one of my favorite memories that I will take with me from this class, something I'm sure no one is expecting. During the advocacy lecture, we had a lively discussion on where to put your dog while using an airplane bathroom. So, you never know the type of things you're going to learn and talk about. And I just want to thank this class for being so fantastic and discussing those type of things during the advocacy lecture, being kind, compassionate, and practical. It's been wonderful getting to know each and every one of you. I look forward to hearing what's next for you as you develop beautiful bonds with your guide dogs. Please keep in touch. And I hope you have safe travels home. Thank you everyone for joining us today.